just going to increase the appeal. So I'm not going to obviously go through that list. That's just a list of some of the features. But I think in terms of the caregiver, the thing that we're really focusing on is tools for the caregiver that are accessible through a web portal. So as the caregiver, they could sit down at a web portal and they could pull up a map and they could locate the device that's being worn by their loved one. And they could set up all kinds of arrival and departure alerts. So, for example, if mom has a dentist appointment at 10 a.m. and the caregiver lives 500 miles away, they can set up an alert to be notified when that device enters that geographic area. And then obviously these devices have cellular modems in them, so they need to be powered. So if there's a low battery alert, for example, that could not only go to the user, but go to the caregiver. And the whole idea here is to try to lower the burden on the caregiver. So basically, the Lifecomm mobile PERS solution will be available in the fourth quarter of 2011. So it'll be available through strategic value-added resellers. And for more information, you can visit us at our booth in the Digital Health Summit, booth number 3018, and in the Qualcomm booth in the South Hall, 30313. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Rich. Very informative. We will look forward to learning much more about this as it comes forward. I'd like to quickly move on to our third speaker, Fred Allegrezza, who is CEO at Venture 3 Systems. And Fred's going to take us in a different line with a touchscreen program and the software that goes behind it that will show a very robust range of technologies that are bringing together to be useful for both caregivers and providers. And Fred brings significant experience as well from the entrepreneurial arena, which I think, as you see, is really central to all of our speakers today who've been involved in developing a number of different products. And his areas range from HDTV to very different types of technologies in the cable market, et cetera, but have now come together around Telikin, which is the easy-to-use touchscreen. Fred, I'll let you take it over.
Well, thank you very much. We're very excited to be invited here to talk at the Silver Summit. Our background is we've been in computers for 35 years, building very sophisticated systems for video on demand, for cable systems, for Comcast. And over all those years, computers, and I guess relating to silicon-based versus carbon-based units, computers have become much more powerful, but I've been frustrated that they haven't become easier to use. And I think they've actually become more difficult to use. So what we've actually tried to look at is, as we talked about this market, there's a lot of folks that are becoming, the boomers are aging into the time of life when they'll need more care, and they're becoming into the senior age. The boomer bubble is moving into the elderly. We need a place to stay. We need to age in place more than being in, as you said earlier, we just can't all fit into the nursing homes and the assisted living homes. So what we looked at this market and we said there should be a way to help people either stay at home or provide better care by being in communication with them more. So while most computer companies are really focused on more technology for the younger set, we really wanted to see if we couldn't come up with a way to make computers and connectivity and communications better for senior citizens. So we're focused on making computers easier to use. So what I thought I'd do is give a little overview of the product and actually talk about what we're most excited about is the way it's enriching the lives of people who are using our computers. So what it is basically a touchscreen computer that allows video chat to have that direct real-time communications, video, internet access where you can tap into the world of internet and get your information on care and health benefits, looking at calendars and reminders to remind people to take their pills or have doctor's appointments, just generally help them out to get through their days. Email correspondence, email with their caregivers or email with their family members, and games to help their mental acuity. So we wanted to package this in an environment where they wouldn't have to deal with all the viruses and all the problems of critical updates for computers. So we decided to package it in an easy-to-use touchscreen computer and try it out with our senior market. So let me give you a profile of the way some of these folks are using it. So Janet Frankenfield's 80, actually I forgot to update all the dates, but basically, she's a little younger than 84 years old, but onset Parkinson's, difficulty using a mouse or a keyboard, but using a stylus, she's really has an easy time to actually touch the screen and large print, easy to comb in on it, and removed her fear of using that computer. And now she's able to stay in touch with her family and make calls, and she's learning to do email, but she's mostly doing video Skype and using it to communicate with her family and stay in touch. But again, with onset of Parkinson's, a little shaky in the hands, but easy to get and hold the stylus. We also have another woman who has significant rheumatoid arthritis, difficulty or actually inability to use keyboard and mouse, but we got feedback that she actually just uses her knuckles and touches the screen, and she can work through the menus and look at pictures, make calls, and actually interact with the computer and her family and stay in touch, even though she can't really hold on to a mouse or keyboard. And this is my mom. She actually was some of the inspiration for this. She had a stroke at the age of 45, very limited speech, and often I would get calls from her, and I would play the guessing game. Is it with one of my brothers and sisters, or what is the problem? So she called me up, literally this was just prior to Christmas. She called me up, and I couldn't understand what it was, and I said, Mom, let me do a video call with you. And what she wanted to tell me is that my sister had created a really nice Christmas letter for her. So I said, okay, well, so she actually held it up, and I could see what it was, and then I knew exactly what she was talking about. So it really helped speech impaired, and she has grandchildren scattered throughout the U.S. and Kentucky, California, and Maryland, and she does video Skype, and she can't speak well, but boy, it's fun to see when she gets on the phone and she can really interact with them. It's really exciting. And I think she really does like the fact that she can communicate. It's very frustrating when you're speech impaired. And I put in Alexis Holmes. This is one of her great-grandchildren. And Alexis is really sweet, but she is very shy. So you can imagine getting on the phone and talking on the phone and not being able to see the person. She wouldn't ever say very much. But this Christmas, we had doing a video chat. She's actually on the other side with my brother has one of these Telikins. And she talked to my mom, and she showed every Christmas toy she got, and they were able to connect. My mom, who can't speak well, and Alexis, who's very shy, really communicated and connected. And I just tell you, that made me feel really good. So we really want to enrich people's lives and make computers easy to use, and this is some of the benefits. So she went through probably about 15 different toys her and her brother got, but it was a fun chat. And this is Marvin Frankenfield. He also is, he's an interesting guy. He's maybe not as communicative as most folks, and on the computer, he actually now loves video Skype call because he can talk to his grandchildren, and he's now been much more involved in communicating with his family, and his sister now has a computer. She's still in Pennsylvania. He lives down in Florida, and they actually video chat back and forth. And the amount of activity that he gets involved with is significantly improved. And so this is the way we can connect more with people and stay in touch with them. I think that their lifestyle increases, keeps them mentally more healthy, and keeps them more in communication with their family. I guess one other story, and I don't know if I put a slide in here, is actually on the caregiver side. This is another actual experience. I got a call from my mom lives in assisted living. I got a call that she was bleeding from her eye. So, that sounded really bad to me, maybe somewhat panicked. But right from my office at work, I was able to do a video Skype call and look at her and realize it had stopped bleeding by that point and was not really a problem at all. It made me feel much better. But I can do this from any computer, whether I'm at work or at home, and I can check on my mom and see that things are good. So it's really helped, and these are just a few of the stories of different folks we're working with. And I hope that gives you an idea of how we're trying to enter the senior market. And again, our focus is really trying to enrich people's lives and help them out, and maybe even do remote assessments and remote diagnosis in the future using the video phone. So that's where we're coming from, and hopefully we can be a good part of this community and contribute what we know to this environment.
Thank you very much, Fred. We're next going to turn to